Good luck. There we go.
Thank you, David. We've got a few more to go, and let me tell you, these are going to be great. It was in 1991 when we were upstate in Binghamton, New York for a fight, and I had just hired a brand new referee. And I knew about the referee because he had worked very hard and long on getting Newton Hurricane Carter out of jail. I knew of him because of his fighting prowess in the amateurs. He scored in New Jersey back-to-back 15-second first-round knockouts. I knew that he had sparred with Dick Tiger. I knew that he had sparred with Reuben Carter. I knew that he had sparred with Muhammad Ali. And I wanted him on my staff as a referee. And at the Broome County Arena, as I was walking in, and I used to get there, and Bob Duffy was on my staff. He was my chief inspector. Rich Herring was my executive director. And the three of us walked into the Broome County Arena about an hour before the doors opened. And we thought we were going to be the first ones there. And we look, and we see a figure in the dark bouncing around the ring. Shadow boxing. So my executive director said, I don't know who in the world that is, but I'm getting him out of the ring. And I realized right away, it was Ron Lipton. And I said, wait, I know what he's doing. And we watched Ron go against the ropes, and he fell against the ropes. I said, now he's going to walk to his left, and he's going to do the same thing on those ropes, and he's going to go around the ring. And sure enough, he did that. And Bob Duffy and Rich Herring looked at me and said, how do you know? I said, because all great referees do that. They check out the ring. They know if there's any loose ropes. They know if there's any loose boards or whatever. And they can then inform the commission that such and such a board is loose or the ropes are loose. Ron did it that night in his very first night on the job, where he refereed two fights, one of them a heavyweight fight, another a middleweight fight. The heavyweight fight he handled absolutely perfect, and he did just as well in the other one, and I knew right away we had ourselves a budding world-class referee. Well, that was in 1991. Only a few weeks ago, on Triller at Madison Square Garden, he had returned to boxing after many months off. Ron Lipton was in the main event with Chris Algieri and Miguel Lespierre. He did his usual incredible job. He always steps into the ring in tip-top shape because he works out all the time. He's not one of these referees who step into the ring with a huge gut and wears his pants up around his neck. Because, as I said earlier, the judges hold the livelihood of the fighters in their hands. The referee, the life of the fighter in their hands. And whenever Ron Lipton steps in the ring, as he has done for 30 years, not one fighter has ever been seriously hurt, and they all go over to him and thank him for the job he did with him. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute honor to induct Ron Lipton, the New York State.
Well, I don't know where to start. I guess it would be to thank the New York State Boxing Hall of Fame and everyone connected with it for this magnificent honor. I look around this room and I see at most every table there's somebody that I go back to either the 60s with or the commission for over 30 years. When Freddie Liberatore was speaking, we mentioned fighters, I refereed every one of them. I see people sitting at the tables here, even Randy Newman. And back in the 60s, we were in the same Boxing Illustrated magazine. He looked like he was posing for Playboy. He was a very handsome guy. That's when we had hair. And I was in the same magazine. I see Junior Jones, I refereed with this was Lando Canizales. Tommy Renone. So many different guys that are here. But I'm very honored to be part of this induction class. My respect and congratulations goes to every inductee. Two of my favorite boxing fighters that are close to my heart are Jack Hirsch and Bobby Castler Jr. I saw every fight his dad ever had. He was one of my favorite fighters. He's back there. It was an honor to referee Lou Savarese on the ESPN. This guy here, Ernie Sosa, well, I refereed his title fight with Prince George, the one where both men stopped each other. I went into the dressing room. My instructions are a little different than other referees. Some of them never had a glove on, others did, and I respect that. But my instructions are usually eyeball to eyeball. I make them look right at me. And I eliminate any problem, any referee nightmare we can have in the ring by talking to them very hard. And that's my style. Murphy, I've never seen him throw any foul punch. I've never seen him do anything dirty in the ring. Same with Prince Charles. So I got him in the middle of the ring in this historic fight, and I gave him my mid-ring instructions. And it's the same since I started 30 years ago. And I say the same thing. I'm giving you the rules of either the New York State Athletic Commission or the New Jersey, wherever we are. I remind you now, respect each other, obey my commands, and we are going to keep this strictly professional. And just before they went back to their corners, Murphy said these words. He said, he looked right at Prince Charles Williams and he said, Akeem, jungle. I said, damn. Here is going to be a jungle. Oh, this is going to be a hot one. Well, when I was a fighter, I was mainly a body puncher. I worked really close. And I was lucky. I got 5 fights in the ring. And I was lucky I got a lot of knockouts. I didn't get a lot of damage. I let them fight. And man, did they fight. And Henry Haskell would tell me it was one of the first times that both men stopped each other. I think it's since 1952. And it had so much facial damage. I looked at the film the other night, and I called the doctor up in the ring. He took a look at me. This guy still wanted to rock. They both still wanted to fight. But I tried to be like their father and look out for their health, so I sent them home to their family in one piece. And it ended up in a technical draw. The other inductees, they all crossed my life path. Don Ackerman, Julie Letterman, we've done many fights together. And, Max Kellerman was supposed to be here. One word about HBO. I've been fortunate to do a bunch of title fights on HBO. Harold Letterman, may his soul rest in peace, always backed up my officiating on the air. And I've always respected that, and I always treasured that. Max Kellerman gave me a compliment once. I don't know if he meant it as a compliment, but I took it as one. He said, I think it was a Yuriorkis Gamboa fight. The fighters were starting to foul each other. And I went home later, I looked at the tape, and Max said, that's the wrong referee to start fouling with and to disobey. And I took that as a great compliment. So everyone here that ever crossed my life path in boxing, I saw all the fighters' fights that that are up here and the ones that didn't show up. I don't know who won the Super Bowl. I don't know who won the World Series. But boxing's been my whole life. I see Tommy Gallagher sitting there. Every time I turn around in the ring, he was in the corner. Lonnie Bradley, I refereed him, and then I looked in the corner, and there was my favorite fighter, Bobby Cassidy. So it's a wonderful honor to be here with all the people that I love so much. And I thank the Boxing Hall of Fame, the New York State Boxing Hall of Fame, for everything they do for fighters in need. Bob Duffy and everyone on the election committee. You made my family very happy. Be safe and well, and thank you very much.